Good evening, I'm Giuseppe Basile. I'm the essentially you can find at the website www.fibstalker.com. I also post regularly on Twitter using the Fibstalker nickname. Good evening, today is Monday, March the 10th, 2014, and it's 10 p.m. time in Toronto. And in this video, I'm going to review for you four markets for tomorrow. This is the daily update for March 11, 2014. And the three markets are the euro dollar forex pair, the SP500 mini futures, the dollar index futures, and the gold mini futures. So I want to start from the euro dollar, which is what you see on the screen here. And we had recently a sequence of measured moves here. The market was very technical at the very beginning here, as we can see. Support at 135.80, first target at 137.30. Next measure move in the sequence was also very well respected here, from lows to highs in sequence, and 136.70 acted as a support here, although price went through all the way down into the 61.8%, but did not break it, and eventually the reaction higher brought price into the first target. The next measure move actually was a dirty measure move, and as we can see, the market failed the setup, but eventually was able to make it higher, and we saw this move on Thursday last week. So busted setup, but the market was anyway able to reach the first target, 138. 70 here, and we know from the weekly chart that the target for this market is 141, and now we printed new highs, so the probability that we get there is very high. So we need to keep that in mind, and it is possible now for this market just to continue higher, but in case it would actually test again this level, that this 138.43, which I believe has already traded on Friday here. We saw 8 pips front run here. Now, if in the coming days this market comes back to this level, 138.43, it's an entry point with a stop below 138.25, so less than 20 pips here, with the potential to move into the target, the larger target here, and I'm going to show you on the daily. This is going to be first and second target at around, first target around 139.50, second target 140. So and this would help price into that larger time frame of 141, larger target at 141. So we still have the possibility, and this is the 4-hour chart, to see price actually correcting into this 138.43, and that would be a long trade with a stop below 138.26, 138.24. So this is it for the euro dollar. Moving to the SP500, I want to show you again, starting from the daily here. I will change the scale, and those who follow me know that in the past I've been following this extension long from the weekly chart, an extension long that failed, but then a price eventually continued moving higher. And if I change the scale here, I can show you that this extension, basket extension long, as a target above at 1888, and this target was actually hit. Now there is another measure move that actually we have to consider. This is the lows to highs here, and we could identify this only after the fact, And this measure move with a support at 1740 here is going to bring price even higher, so there is a possibility for this market to just continue higher and hit the second target and at 1896. So the market will eventually reach this area where it's going to see some profit taking, and if we get to 1896, then there's a possibility for a larger retracement. There is also a possibility for a continuation higher, because that would be only the first target of this measure move. Moving to the dollar index, the dollar index is not really offering a lot of information here. It is much better to follow the euro dollar, which provides more dependable information. But as I mentioned also in the weekly review in my newsletter, this market has been trading the measure move, the next measure move. This market actually traded to the target here, this busted setup, and after that it traded the next measure move in the sequence. So at the moment this market is still it has still a possibility to keep moving lower. We had resistance at this 80, so the market could go and test this 80 again. This would correspond to the euro dollar level that we saw before, the 138.40 area here, if we get there. And so the dollar index, of course, is supporting potential trades for the euro, and there is a possibility for this market then to come back again at 80, and we have to see what is going to happen there. So as we're probably going to see the euro dollar moving into 141, there is a possibility that if we retest this 80, the dollar index will just bounce off this level and continue lower. And finally, the gold. Now gold has been enjoying this move higher in recent since the beginning of 2014. And as I showed you yesterday as well in my weekly review, there was a high to low here, support at 12.15, which traded, stop 12.06, never traded, and price went into 12.63 here, and eventually price continued higher, and we had this move higher into first target 12.91 and second target 13.15. And after that, I've been looking for a retracement into the next extension long, but the market never came to that level. And actually, I observed after the fact initially a level that acted as very good as a level of support. This is the first trade, 13.11 actually, when we trace it properly. So let me trace it again for you. So this is from highs to highs, and we had participation at this level. Price went into the first target, and then after this level was identified, we had to see whether it would keep being respected, and as you can see here it was, and actually this would be the proper trace for this market. The target would be above, and we didn't reach that target just yet at 13.57. So this market went to trade again this level from the highs to highs here, and we saw participation at this 13.25, but I will stick to the previous trace here, and this is highs to highs, because we never got to the target here. So there is still a possibility here for this market to just continue higher, and So this would be a continuation higher from uh, from the level that I've showed you on the daily, which is this level here from highs and sorry, from previous highs, and this would be the actual trade that we have to watch now. So also clearly the short is not there anymore, as we can easily check from the 4-hour chart here, because this measure move here failed. So price went above 1342. So it means that I'm going to reverse my direction for this market. There is the possibility for this market to hit the target, the first target of this measure move at 1319, and the first target would be 1357. And if we look at the sequence of measure move here after this aftermarket actually failed the all the way halfway back, we actually have the possibility now to retrace into the lows to highs here, and this would be, if that happened, this would be a high probability trade here. So we need to study what is going to happen in this time frame here. And as you can see, also from this time frame, this is the 15 minutes chart, we can see that highs to lows failed here and actually failed today. So there are now two possibilities. One would be just a continuation higher, but market will also come back to test the all the way halfway back here, and this is our trade. If the market is actually very aggressive, then probably will just retrace to a higher level, but I will not consider this level at the moment. So going back to the 240 minutes for our chart here, this is the level of support I'm going to consider, 1334 with a stop below 1330, and this would bring price into there are two levels we have to consider here. One would be the outer trade on the daily chart, which has targets at 1357. The other would be, if we come back to this 130.34, that's an entry long, which would bring price into first target here, previous highs, and second target to that 1357. So if this trade materialize, we have 3 points of risk here, with the potential to move from 1334 to 1357, so 23, and this will be a 7, more than 7 reward to risk trade here. So this is the trade for gold. I hope this video is useful. My method is using program trading footprint, so I try to get an edge from observing how program trading affects price on different time frames, and from the information I gather on all time frames of very high volume markets, then we can actually derive some information, useful information you can use for profitable trades. Thank you very much for your attention. I wish you a very good evening and a great trading day and continuation of the trading week this week starting March the 10th. All the best. I'll see you soon. Bye bye now.